everyone, it's great to see you here once again on Dee's Delights. Today we are going to be making some brown sugar, no yeast bread. Now I tell you what, I love bread, but I really love bread that sounds like it's going to be sweet and we don't have to let it rise. We don't have to let it sit out for hours on end, even though those types of breads are fantabulous. If you want to get in and out of the kitchen in no time, this is the bread for you. So you can make it in loaves, you can make it in mini loaves, whatever you want to do. Today, I am going to be making some mini loaves that I can give away. That's just, you know, the kind of person I am. I like to make food. I don't want to eat it, all of it. I could freeze it, but also it's fun to take to family and friends. Let them enjoy it too. It says to grease 6 miniature loaf pans and preheat the oven to 350 degrees. So I'm not sure if the mini loaf pans that they're using are this small or a little bigger. So I do have more of these pans, but I want to make them the little teeny ones. What you're going to need is a medium mixing bowl and a large mixing bowl. And you don't need many ingredients, just 2 cups of brown sugar. I am going to be using Domino's dark brown sugar, 4 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 tablespoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon salt, 2 eggs, 2 cups of milk, and 2/3 cups of vegetable oil. And that is it. How easy is that? And you probably have all of those ingredients in your home already. I, though, however, am going to add maybe a cup of dried cranberries, and I'm probably going to top it with a powdered sugar glaze. You could also use cream cheese glaze, whatever you want, but I'm going to just see, you know, not that it's sweet enough with the brown sugar already, but if you all know me, you know I like it. The sweeter, the better. I have a sweet tooth. So first, in a medium mixing bowl, we're going to combine the brown sugar, flour, baking powder, and salt, and then we'll set that aside. So let's start out with our medium one. Now it doesn't say to pack it. It just says 2 cups of brown sugar. I'll just lightly pack it. Can you even see what I'm doing? The big tub of veggie oil, milk. So I'm not really going to pack it. I'm just going to top it off here a little bit. Just kind of go like this. Now it doesn't say to spoon and level the flour, so I'm just going to use a 4-cup measuring cup. Is it going to be too much? Nope. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, throw in 4 cups of flour. I'm going to whisk that together. Then I'll mix in the baking powder and salt. Now what you want to do, if you want to put a glaze on top, go ahead and set out some butter, a few tablespoons. That way it'll be softened. 2 tablespoons baking powder. And 1 teaspoon of salt. And then mix that around in there. Now I'll probably add the dried cranberries last. I'll mix it in. You can also add chocolate chips, nuts, whatever you want. Okay, let's see. In a large bowl, let's set this aside. In a large bowl, we're going to go ahead and mix the eggs, milk, and oil. So you're going to need 2 cups of milk. Pretty darn close. Let's see here. Yep, good. Now I'm going to look at these eggs a little bit before I put them in my bowl. Make sure they look good. They do. They look good. Put my little eggs in there. And my oil is 2/3 cup. Okay, so let's grab this jug. This jug weighs, it says it's a 1-gallon jug. So 2/3 cup Perfect. Mix that in there. And we're to beat that. I'm just going to whisk it around. Get everything mixed up in there real good. Now it says to leave a little bit of room for rise. Do you think that was enough? Probably. Didn't get it on the sides though. Now I'm going to use a good solid spoon to stir the two together. Let's slowly start mixing our flour into our milk and egg mixture. And we want to mix it till it's wet and just moist. Now this says bake 40 minutes or until a toothpick comes out clean. I don't think my little things are going to take 40 minutes. I'm going to start checking them at about 20. And as long as the temperature is between 180 and 200 when I put a thermometer in, it should be done. There's another hunk of that brown sugar. Whoops, I just threw it on the floor. Meant to throw it in the sink, folks. Now I'm thinking I'm going to start with about a cup of dried cranberries. This is all optional. You do what you think best. Now I'm not a fan of raisins. You could add raisins if you want, or any other dried fruit. Yep, very good. Now I'll see if I need a second tray. I'm using a measuring cup, about a half cup. I think that's what I'm going to put in each of these. So I got, what, 8, 4, and 5, 13 little baby ones. It also says you can do large loaves. You can make 2 1-pound loaves or cut the recipe in half for 1 loaf pan and bake that for 50 to 60 minutes. There again, you can test the temperature. You don't want it to dry out. I think bread is somewhere between 180 and 200. I'll double check that. I'll put it on the screen. Okay, I might sprinkle a few dried cranberries on some of these that didn't get as many. All right, off to the oven it goes. I'm going to start at 20 minutes, 350 degrees. Okay, this loaf is 190. Yep, good enough. They're done. These little baby loaves took about 23 minutes. Now I'm going to let them cool for a little bit before I take them out and put them on the rack. But yeah, they took about 23 minutes. There again, it depends on your oven. Depends on how big your pans are. So if you get the little mini loaves, I'm sure they're a little bigger than this. Or if you want 2 regular size loaves. All right, they've been cooling just for a few minutes. I'm gonna go ahead, scoop them out of here with a little butter knife. Perfect little loaves. And if you've greased your pan enough, they should pop right out. Okay, this is a defective one. I will be forced to eat that. These two, I must not have greased the sides as good as I could have, but this one is really bad. I'll have to eat that one. I'll have to eat them both. Okay, so I'm gonna let them cool totally. Then we're gonna make the glaze. All right, let's go ahead and make our glaze. Now, I'm gonna put a piece of foil under here. I'm just going to use about 2 cups of powdered sugar. And you can use about a half teaspoon to a full teaspoon of vanilla extract and about 3 to 4 tablespoons of milk. Now you can also add about 2 tablespoons of softened butter in here if you want, but I thought, you know what? I don't think I need the extra calories. I calculated with the cranberries, each of these loaves have about 420 calories. We got this glaze on top, by golly. I'm going to use all the milk. I want it to be able to be drizzled. I don't want it too thick. So even if you think you need to add a little bit more milk, I think this will be okay. Yes, it is a nice texture. You can drizzle that quite nicely. Just kind of go across. Make it look pretty. Then I'm just going to let it kind of firm up here a little bit. Then I'm going to store it in an airtight container. I would say for a few days they'll be good. You can also store it in the fridge for maybe up to a week. Up to you, folks, up to you. Unless you eat them really fast. Now, of course, I didn't show you, but I ate a whole one just a little while ago. So I cannot partake of this right now. Doug will be sure to give you his opinion on these tasty little baby bread loaves.
What do you think, Tanya?
The glaze really adds a nice touch. I don't think I'm going to need Cool Whip. I think the glaze is sweet enough. What do you think, Doug?
Leave the Cool Whip.
You want the Cool Whip? Okay.
Everything's better with whipped sugar.
Yeah. It would still be, well, maybe just a little bit. Just a little baby bit. You know, just for the bottom part that doesn't have as much sugary goodness.
Good.
Good bread? And of course the sugary goodness helps.
Better with whipped cream.
Yeah, it adds more flavor, doesn't it? Really, if you think about it, it's just a brown sugar bread. Bread doesn't normally have tons of flavor to it. So anything you can do to enhance that. So I would recommend the powdered sugar glaze and throw a little Cool Whip on top.
Cranberries and almonds would be really good.
That's true, that's true. So thanks for joining us here once again on Dee's Delights. We hope you have a fabulous day, and we hope you enjoy your brown sugar bread loaded with extra sugar on top.
Bye.
Bye.